Hi, welcome to CodeNect. So upon first opening of the software, there will be a prompt or greeting to ask whether the user wants to start a tutorial or not if they already knew how to use a visual programming software. So in this case, we click on yes, begin the tutorial, and this is the tutorial panel. So let's proceed to the tutorial. So the first tutorial is opening the sidebar. So there's a simple explanation of what the sidebar is and how to open the sidebar. So by hovering the mouse to the left side of the screen. So once we do that, we can now proceed because we completed the tutorial. Next tutorial is opening the command palette, which we can do as stated here by Control Shift P. Once we do that, we can proceed again. So next tutorial is creating a new project. So there are two ways on doing that. We can either go to the sidebar, click on this folder icon, the new project, or opening the command palette and typing new project and hitting enter. So as stated on the tutorial says click on the triple dot icon to select whether where to test or where to save the file. Fill in the name, title will be tutorial or anything, and then the name, create new project, and once we created that, we can now proceed. So here's a explanation about the navigation. So we can uh, move around using the middle mouse button. We can right click and create a node. So next, we create two, says we need to create a variable, first variable, and then name this first addend. And then says slot type should be integer. Then the initial value is 32. Then for the description is this is the first variable. Then the next step says we need to create another one, but name this second addend and type integer with the initial value of 64 and description is this is the second addend. And then third is we create another one called sum, then integer again, and then for the comment or description says this node will store the sum. So once we create this final variable, as you can see, we can now proceed. Next is how to create a node operation. So node creation operation is and then add, and then we want integer. Then let's create that. It says we should align this with in between those. You can see we have a pop-up here because there's a warning. So to fix that, yes, we need to connect the output slot of the first addend to the input slot of the operation node. So first addend to the operation, then second addend to the operation again. Then the output slot of the operation to the input slot of the sum variable. As you can see, it's fixed, and now the warning pop-up or toast or notification is gone. So we can proceed. And says we need to create a node print, so it's under the action, then the print, then the input type is integer, the output type is integer, and the output is the sum is with an extra white space at the end, space, and check on the append checkbox, and then check the append new line checkbox. So we create, then says we need to connect the sum output to the input of the print. And you can see the sum is 96 as stated here. So we can proceed now. So transpiling the visual code says we need to open the terminal. You can either go to the sidebar and click on the open terminal, or we can go to the command palette and type in terminal and so on. We can move this. It says click on the compile, so that will be successful, and then we can go to the code to check that. Then we need to proceed, and then we go finally to the final step, which is running the visual code. So we need to run. It says we need to go to the command prompt or this command prompt, and then just press enter. And so we proceed, and then that's the end of the tutorial. So because that is the basic of using this software and in general visual programming software. Close the tutorial, and then let's save that. Then as you can see, if we reopen the software, since we it knows that we already completed the tutorial, it doesn't ask anymore. But if we want to do the tutorial again, we can go to the command palette, type in tutorial, and then we can hit enter, and then we can redo the tutorial, as you can see.